A new B&B that's opened. Falling back in love. And a message I have for a cozy mystery author? What do these three things have in common? Welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads! Let's go! Yes, hello, and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. I am, of course, Mr. Francy, and I'm truly honoured that you've once again chosen to join me today as I present to you a bonus midweek vlog. Yeah, so, I have been really enjoying my time. If you are new, welcome to the channel, and if you're not, welcome back. But if you are new and you didn't know, have placed upon myself a cozy mystery embargo, where I am enjoying, which is something that I'm very much enjoying. All I'm doing is reading cozy mysteries, and I have read a lot of them, in this past first half of the week, and so I figured one way to maybe keep the time down, the duration a little less, do a midweek vlog, and also I may not have the same thoughts or feelings if I wait until Friday. So today is Wednesday, the 9th of April. My last vlog that I did, oh gosh, you would think I would have been a lot more prepared, right? The last vlog that I did was from the 22nd of March to the 4th of April. So we will be covering today from the 5th to the 9th of April. But before we go any further, I would like to say something that is not a sponsored thing. Even if it sounds like it, it's not. I'm not sponsored by anyone. If you'd like to sponsor me, I believe that my email is in the description. Feel free to reach out. But anyway, this is not sponsored, even though it may sound like it. I have been getting really cozy lately. And I don't just mean with my reading. I am listening to cozy music. I am watching cozy TV shows. Of course, on top of that, reading my cozy mysteries. And I am drinking a lot of cozy tea at the moment. There's the tea bag. There's the proof. It is tea. And not some soft drink. And today's tea is Twinings Ginger and Apple. Yeah, so it is, you can see that little background that I have. I can't point. There. It is autumnal season, and how autumnal does that seem? Ginger and apple. It is, oh my gosh. It is so good. If anything, I might like it to be a little more tart or a little more apple-y for my liking, but really, it is beautiful. I'm really getting into my sweet teas, so if you have any great flavor suggestions you'd like to give me, then please do let me know. But I've basically converted to sweet tea at the moment, and it's been the most wonderful journey for me because I really am cozifying my life at the moment, and what better way to cozify my life than to be drinking a whole lot of sweet tea. It's just been so much fun. There were some issues though. I was someone who my favorite soft drink was Coca-Cola, and I would also drink coffee, so I was always caffeinated quite highly, and then I suddenly just went cold turkey on caffeine without realizing it, because all of the sweet teas I was having, they're green tea or they're herbal tea that is not a black tea, so there's no caffeine in them, and so I would be waking up constantly with headaches and not knowing why. And oh yeah, I've literally gone cold turkey, no caffeine. So Nowadays, in the morning, I'll start off with a coffee. I'll allow myself to wake up with a coffee, and then I switch to my teas, and it's been a whole lot of fun. And yeah, I have a nice fruity tea, and then at night I have like a sleeping kind of tea, one that helps me to sleep well. So, do you have any favorite teas or sweet teas that you drink? Let me know in the comment section below, or let me know something that you do that helps you to cozyfy your life. All right, so. Next thing I want to say is my saying of today is, it will all work out as it is meant to. I don't know why, but I feel like someone needs to hear that right now, so I'm just putting it out there. If you're that person, please know that. It will all work out as it needs to. Yeah. Everything does, doesn't it? You know, when we think about it, it all works out as it should. You know, if something horrible happens, or we feel like we've been unjustly done by, or, you know, something just happens from out of nowhere that freaks us out or makes us angry or whatever, because it just doesn't seem like this should be happening. When we go through whatever it is that we go through, we can't help but look back and say, oh yeah, it worked out how it needed to. Whether we thought it was meant to at that time or not, or whether it wasn't that thing, but what eventuated out of that thing made us then realize, oh yeah, that needed to happen for this to happen. Yeah, it'll all work out how it's meant to, okay? So just keep that in mind. You may want to write that down. Feel free to pause. It'll all work out how it's meant to, all right? All right, excellent. Let's talk cozies. So, I have finished Death Over Easy by Maddie Day. This is, I don't even know what number. It is 5? Yes, book number 5 in the Country Store Mystery Series, and I gave this book 4 stars. I love this series. So in this series, we follow Robbie Jordan, who runs a country store, which is part country store, part diner. In the country store, that section has all these different historical cooking items, and people can just look around, and if they like them, they can then purchase them. The other half of that country store is a diner that she runs. And in this particular book, she is also upstairs where she is living, converted that into a B&B. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm just so thrilled. And I listened to this series on audio. And in case you are new and didn't know this, the audio narrator for this series makes our protagonist sound like she's an elderly sleuth, even though in the book it's been quoted a few times, she's 27. So, I mean, but for me, I love my elderly sleuth. So, elderly sleuth, culinary cozy, B&B being opened up upstairs. Is there any wonder I love this series? And if you need something else to get you into the series, if you haven't read it before, I am yet to come across a nicer main character in a cozy mystery series than our dear Robbie Jordan in this one. She is so nice, so lovely. I really want to just meet Maddie Day, because, I mean, if she's writing characters like this, can we just sit down and have a nice cup of tea together? Absolutely fantastic series. So, in this particular one, Robbie, as I said, converted the upstairs into a B&B, and to top it all off, her birth father has come to stay at the B&B with a new woman, Maria. Following a bluegrass concert, we find out that one of the musicians has been murdered. What makes it interesting, however, is that Robbie's father and Maria both know the deceased's family. Now, they, alongside everyone else staying at the B&B for their own reasons, are considered suspects. But Robbie knows there's more to the story, so dons her sleuthing cap once again. So, to my thoughts on this one, and as I said, I truly do love this series as a whole, and I think the biggest reason is its coziness. Maddie Day sure knows how to write an extremely cozy mystery. I also really appreciated meeting Robbie's father. So Robbie's father, she hadn't seen him in a very, very, very long time. He left her and her mother when she was quite young, and he moved overseas to Italy, which is where he found Maria. So this is the first time that Robbie is seeing him in a very long time. So it was nice to have that family hallmark, if you will, moment. I really, really appreciate that. And meeting Maria too. It was nice meeting both of them. Also appreciated that, as I said, Robbie is running this B&B. I mean, I love my B&B cozy so much. Just wait. Not the next one I'm talking about, the one after. We're going to have some words. But I love B&Bs, inns, resorts, anything that is like a place to stay where we have the revolving door of characters who come in each and every single different book. I love that whole setup. And yeah, so it just made me really happy that in addition to having the most lovely character in the world as our protagonist in this series, and plus her diner, so the culinary aspect, we also have a B&B. Like, it's just, I mean, it's everything I could want and more. And she's a senior in my mind. Headcanon, don't forget, that's only headcanon. But in headcanon, she's also a senior. Woo! Look, the mystery took me a minute to get into, as I really didn't know anything about the victim, but once Robbie's father and Maria became suspects, I did become quite intrigued. The reveal was again a bit too gritty for my liking, and so I did dock a star, but otherwise it was a really enjoyable book. And that's a complaint that I also had with book number 4, is that this series is extremely cozy. It is an extremely cozy mystery. And so when we get the reveals are very gritty, and it just doesn't make sense. It throws off the tone. So I just wish that it wasn't as gritty as it was, and I have been docking a star the past few books for that reason. I think I may just have to get used to that, but it's just tough to go from this is so nice and sweet and cozy, and then all of a sudden, boom, you know, here's a gritty ending for you out of nowhere. But otherwise, and that is a very minor complaint, if I was back in the day, I used to do half stars. If I was still doing that, I would have given this book 4.5 stars, but I don't do that anymore. I will take off a full star or nothing. So therefore it's 4 stars as opposed to 4.5, but it's a high 4 stars, a very high 4 stars, and cannot wait to continue on with the series. All right. So, that's the section of a new B&B that opened. Now let's talk about falling back in love. Oh my goodness. The next book that I picked up was a book in a series that I knew was going to make or break this series for me. I loved book number 1. I gave it 5 stars. I really didn't like book number 2 at all. And so I went into book 3 thinking if I don't like book 3, I'm DNFing. But you know what? As I said, I fell back in love with this series. I'm so happy. It is the A Magical Cats Mystery Series. Book number 3 is called Copycat Killing, and it is by Sophie Kelly. Okay, so there's a lot of things to unpack with this, so let's just begin with the series premise and the book premise. So the series premise for this one is, in this series we follow Kathleen Paulson, who is a librarian in Maryville Heights, Minnesota, and her 2 cats, Owen and Hercules, who, as the series title suggests, magical cats, have magical abilities. I won't reveal what they are. Alright, in this book, Kathleen falls down a mountain and her fall unearths a skull. Who is dead and why? A couple of days later, a rude artist is found dead in Kathleen's friend's basement. Are their deaths connected? The detectives don't want her to get involved, but Owen and Hercules have other ideas for Kathleen. Okay, now, there was a complaint that was expressed that I am aware of. I'm not naming names, but I want to address the complaint in the room about this series because I think that if some of you listen to me talking about the series premise and think you want to give it a go, then I need you to be mindful. As I said, in this series we follow Kathleen Paulson, who is a librarian in Maryville Heights. Please be mindful. The series is not called a Kathleen Paulson Library Mystery Series, and there's a reason for that. In book number 1, we spend a lot of time in the library. We do not spend a lot of time at all in the library in books 2 and 3. That is because the main focus of this series is on the actual cats themselves. Hercules, the tuxedo, and Owen, the white sock tabby. Well, he's got white socks in that one. So the focus is the cats. You need to be mindful of that. It's not the profession, it's the cats. And the reason for that, without giving away too much of a spoiler, is these cats are incredibly intelligent and they assist in their own way with the sleuthing, with Kathleen's sleuthing. And so the focus is very much on them and the assistance that they give to Kathleen with her sleuthing, as well as the focus being on them because of the cozy side. Because what's more cozy than cats? Like, seriously? I mean, unless you think of like a teddy bear or a bunny, I mean, what's more cozy than a cat? But anyway, and now you got two for the price of one. But anyway, knowing that, and I am definitely a cat person, I was the original cat lady. About 5, 6, no, it would have been longer, about 7 or 8 years ago, I was in a relationship that I won't talk about, but unfortunately, having left that relationship, I haven't owned a cat since. But in that relationship, I at one stage had 20, I kid you not, 20 cats in my home. I did. 20 cats at once, and I loved them all. They were all my kids. Well, the first one was my kid because we got her from a friend, cutting a long story short. We got her from a friend. Her name is Dani, named after the tennis player Daniela Huntakova. So her name technically is Daniela, nickname Dani. And Dani was a tabby female. She ended up giving birth to a litter of kittens. That litter grew up, and 2 of the female cats in that litter had their own litter, and Dani had another litter, and I couldn't part with any of the cats. So ultimately, we ended up with 20 at one time. But I just, oh my gosh, I love them all so much, and yeah, ever since leaving that relationship, I've missed them so much that I know one day I want to get another cat at some point. But I'm very much a cat person, and I get my fulfillment in this book. Now, as far as my thoughts on the book itself, I love the book. I went in wondering, as I said, how I'd go, as I gave book 1 5 stars but didn't like book 2. But this one brought me back to what I love. The cats, Owen and Hercules. I love them both so much, and the way they insert themselves into the mystery is so intriguing. And also, Owen and Hercules are very, very different. Hercules is what I would call a bit of a fusspot. Like, you know, Hercules is, despite the name Hercules, Hercules is very much a princess. You know, Hercules is fussy with what he'll eat. He won't go outside and, you know, run around and chase things outside and get dirty or whatever. And he's very prim and proper. I have a close bond with my Hercules. Owen, on the other hand, is completely like, you know, rough and tumble. Not that he's a bad cat, but, you know, he doesn't mind going outside and, you know, being in the dirt and whatever. I felt like Owen got a bit of a raw deal in this book because a lot of the time when Kathleen went out, she took Hercules with her, but she left Owen at home, and Owen was giving her looks as if to say, why aren't you taking me? And, you know, Kathleen's going, now, don't you be like that. Don't be, you know, sassy or whatever, or you won't get any tuna. And here I am thinking, hang on, Kathleen, you keep taking Hercules out the house, you're leaving Owen at home, what is he gonna think? So I hope there's a lot more love for Owen in book number 4, but I have to say, I do love Hercules. He's my favourite cat. Anyway, love this series. I'm so happy that I'm back to loving this series. Just know, if you are going to pick up this series, go in for the cats. The theme is these 2 cats, Owen and Hercules, and not the library. For me, I gave it 4 stars, and I cannot wait, as I said, to get on to book number 4. Oh my gosh, I love that tea. Once again, is ginger and apple. It just needs a bit more apple, but otherwise, I absolutely, perfectly autumnal, which I love. Okay, next thing. So the next section was a message I have for an author. The next book that I picked, I go, what message do I have for this author? The next book that I picked up was this book, Message in the Mantle, by Kathy Daly. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about the glare, so I think that's the best way I can hold it. There we go, you can see the picture a little bit, good. This is book number 3 in the in At Holiday Bay Cozy Mystery Series, or as I like to call it, the Boxes and Boxes series. Really funny. So, quick backstory. Book number 1 in this series is called Boxes in the Basement. All I remembered about the title before I started it was that it contained the word boxes. So over on my Discord, I was referring to it as the Boxes and Boxes book because I just kept forgetting what the title was outside the word boxes. I didn't realize how apt that title that I made up for the series would be because we deal with so many boxes throughout the course of the first 3 to 4 books in this series that it's like, yeah, it definitely is the Boxes and Boxes series. And then in the Boxes in the Boxes, because everything is in the, like in this one, message in the mantle. Everything is in the something. Anyway, so, alright, let me talk you through the premise, and then we're going to talk about the message I have for this author, Kathy Daly. So the series premise in this one is that we follow Abby Sullivan, a mystery author, and her employee and friend Georgia. Abby purchased a mansion in Holiday Bay, Maine, and plans to convert it into an inn. Also included are the cat that adopted Abby, Rufus, and Georgia's dog, Ramos. Now, in this book, Abby is still working hard to get the inn renovated for opening. Colt, who is the detective, is moving into a new place and finds a skeleton inside a chest in the basement. So Abby uses her sleuthing skills to help him work out what happened. Okay, now that you got the premise, are you ready for my message for this author who is so fabulous, who has written over so many books? Like, seriously, check out her backlist. Kathy Daly has written so many books that I probably will get to all of them, but I have a message. Miss Daly, please, please hear me. I hope this is the only time it happened. Alright, everyone. This is book number 3 in the At Holiday Bay Cozy Mystery series. At the end of book number 3, I don't deem this to be a spoiler because I want you to be aware, the inn is still not open. And I'm sorry, but if I'm going to go into a book for the series title and you're calling the series The Inn at Holiday Bay and the inn is still not open at the end of book 3, Mr. Francy going to have a bit of a complaint about that. Like, what the heck are you thinking? Now, granted, all of the books in this series are novella in length. Novella length. What that means is 250 pages or less. So granted that, you know, if it was 2 books, and then it's open at the end of the second book, that would be a total of 500 pages, which would be a tome. But we're at the end of book 3, so it's been at least 750 pages. There is still no opening. Why is it called the Inn at Holiday Bay? Why is it not called the renovation for the Inn at Holiday Bay series? I mean, I get that it takes a long time, but I'm here for the inn. As I mentioned earlier and alluded to earlier, I love inns, B&Bs, resorts, anything like that, because I love seeing the revolving door cast of characters that we get. Because the inn hasn't opened, we haven't met anyone who's staying at the inn yet, who is staying at the inn because they want to stay at an inn, rather than living at the inn. We met 2 people who live at the inn, but no one is staying for a short while at the inn because the inn's still not open. And also, the mysteries seem to be a couple of things. First of all, the mysteries seem to be in the background, which is not something I'm used to with cozies. I don't necessarily complain about that. I'm more a fan of the cozy side, the theme side, personally. I mean, theme side being an inn and the inn's not open, but still, I'm loving the Holiday Bay side of things as opposed to the mystery side of things. But the mystery is so far in the background that without really telling you what happens in the mystery, I'm just going to tell you how Abby finds out about the mystery. She is friends with the local detective, her husband used to be a detective, a cop, or something like that. Unfortunately, he died, but he was one. And so she connected with the detective really well. They became good friends, and that's all they are. They're just friends. But anyway, he will call her or call round to her and say, I have a case at the moment I'm trying to solve, and it's this. So it is so far in the background. It's not like Kathleen stumbles upon a dead body or Kathleen stumbles upon something that's happening with her that we are trying to solve. No. What we're trying to solve in this series is the cop has a case. We weren't there when this case originated. We're being told about it secondhand. And we're trying to assist him. It just feels weird. I don't know if I'm saying that I like this or not. And actually, no, you know what? I don't like it. Because for me to get into a mystery, I need to have been there from the beginning of the mystery. And we're not. We're not there from the beginning. We are told it as an aftermath. Like, he will go, the cop, the detective, he'll go and see whatever it is. He'll be there to discover the dead body, the missing thing, the whatever is the mystery. He'll see it. Then he'll start working on it. Then days later, he'll tell her. And that's when we find out. So it's like, okay, it's really on the side. And then after he tells her, he goes away, continues to try and solve his mystery. We're dealing with more boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes. And then you get to halfway through the book and he'll come back and say, this is what's happening. I kind of need your help. Can you help me with this? And like, okay. It's not really the focus of the book. It's really in the background. So if that doesn't sound like the series for you, I want you to know that going in. Alright, the mysteries really feel like they are in the background. They're an afterthought. They're not in the foreground at all. The foreground is the cozy side, and while we are still renovating to get this in open, the cozy side is Holiday Bay itself and the cast of characters that come along with Holiday Bay. Alright. One quick thing I will say about the narrator, who I don't love. I don't. Because she keeps having inflection on the words said, asked, and so on and so forth. It's like, said, asked. I'm sorry. But, as in B-U-U-U-U-U-T, but. Anyway, it's the inflection. It's fine. Another gripe that I have, which I'm still listening to the audiobook, so clearly I'm fine with her ultimately, but another gripe I have with her is that the second main character, Georgia, the narrator makes her sound, and you tell me if you've noticed it too, the narrator makes her sound like Sadness from Inside Out, the Pixar movies. And even though she's a lovely, happy person, Georgia, she sounds like Sadness from the Pixar movie. But anyway, I end up giving this one 3 stars. I just really didn't like it. It's very much annoying me. Even in the review, I said my first thought is the annoyance that the inn still isn't opened. However, I did plan for it, and therefore we'll be reading Answers in the Attic next, and the inn should be open in that one somewhere. The mystery I did find to be intriguing, although the reveal felt way too forced and short. Owing to all the above, I docked 2 stars and gave it 3 stars. Alright, so what's the plan moving forward? So, as I said, I'm going to pick up Answers in the Attic next, book number 4. Please, can the inn be open? It's the only thing I ask. I just want the inn to be open, then I'll be happy. And then after this one, I'm picking up a book that makes me so sad. And the reason I'm sad is because it's the last one in the series, or the last one for now. I don't know. If anyone just gets a sign, a snifter, a little tiny moment of a little something that says there's more, please tell me right away. You'll make my day. But at the moment, the last book in the Grilled Cheese Cozy Mystery series, You Better Watch Out by Linda Riley. Oh my gosh, I am so looking forward to reading this book, but I'm not looking forward to finishing it and potentially being done with this amazing series that I've given 5 stars to for every single book so far. So we will talk about these 2 and potentially me starting this book, A Familiar Tale by Delia James, in the end of week reading vlog. Alright everyone, in the meantime, that's where I am going to leave it. I'm going to let you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Remember, it will all work out as it should. Drink good sweet tea. And until next time, letting you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind, love one another, and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world! Because that's what we need to do, spread this sparkle, sparkle, sparkle! Yeah! And until next time, happy reading! Bye everyone!